cat shows curiosity about the mouse. So think about, what does the word curiosity mean? Based on these picture clues in this sentence, the cat showing curiosity about the mouse. Go ahead and write that prediction down in your word collector. So curiosity is an eager desire to know. So curiosity is an eager desire to know. So what is something that makes you curious? So what is something that you maybe really want to know about? Okay, some of you are really curious in maybe how things work. Maybe you're really curious in learning about like a specific athlete or specific sport. Maybe you're really curious in knowing about how things are built. So curiosity is the desire to know something. Our next word is thickets. Thickets like this one are hard to walk through. So look at this picture for some clues. Thickets like this one are hard to walk through. So think about what a thicket is. Thickets are bushes or small trees growing close together. So if you look at these two pictures, you can see the bushes and the small trees, and you can see that you can't even see the ground because these bushes and trees are growing so close together. So if you think about if a dog were to be running through this thicket or hiding in the thickets, they'd probably come out with a lot of burrs and things stuck on their fur. So maybe you've seen some thickets before or walked through some. Our next word is glorious. This sunset is glorious. So if we're saying that this sunset is glorious, what would that mean for something to be glorious? Go ahead and write that prediction of that definition down in your word collector. So glorious means magnificent or splendid. Magnificent or splendid. So on a perfect day, what would you do? What would make this day glorious? So if you wanted to design the perfect day for yourself, what would you do to make that day glorious or magnificent or splendid? Okay, maybe you would eat your favorite food, go to your favorite places, hang out with your favorite people to make your day glorious or magnificent. Our next word is ruins. This house is in ruins. So take a look at this house. It's in ruins. So what does that mean? Ruins are what is left after a building or wall has fallen to pieces. So ruins are what is left after a building or wall has fallen to pieces. So if you look at these two pictures, these are ruins of probably some buildings, maybe some walls. So this is all that would be left of that building. So a lot of countries or towns that are really ancient, meaning that they're very, very old, will have a lot of ruins of different buildings or walls or things like that. A lot of times you'll see places like that in Europe. Our next word is terraced. These are terraced hills. So if you look at this picture, there's a bunch of hills, and it says that they are terraced. So these hills look a little different from maybe hills you're used to seeing. So what do you think does it mean for these hills to be terraced? So terraced means formed into flat, level land with steep sides. Okay, so if you look on the left right here, this is a terraced garden right here. Okay, so you can see that it has steep sides, but the land is level. So it's probably on a hill. It might be outside of someone's house maybe, and it's really hilly. But in order to still plant things or have a garden there, they terraced the sides of those hills. So they made them flat so that they could, put a patio there. They could put some gardens there, even though it's on a hill. right here, this is another picture of a terraced hillside. So some steep hills. And if you look closely, you can see that there must be some farming that they're doing. So by terracing these hillsides, they are able to grow plants and have some little fields and grow some things and make them into flat, level land. Our next word is torrent. The rain is falling in a torrent. So if you look at this picture, you can tell that the rain looks like it's falling really heavily. So the rain is falling in a torrent. So think about what torrent means. So a torrent is a violent rushing stream of water. A violent rushing stream of water. So if it's raining really hard, we could say that it's raining a torrent of water. So here's some sentences and more examples of using the word torrent in a sentence. The excited child's sentences flowed out like a torrent. So this is kind of like a simile. We're saying that this child was speaking so much, their sentences were just flowing out like a torrent, like a violent rushing stream of these words. Another one would be the river rushed down the mountainside in a torrent. So that river is rushing down the mountainside in a violent rushing stream of water, which would be called a torrent. Our next word is granite. This is a granite rock formation. So this may be a familiar word to you. Think about, what does granite mean? So granite means made from a very hard gray or pink rock that is formed when lava cools slowly underground. So a very hard gray or pink rock that is formed when lava cools slowly underground. So if you look at these pictures, maybe you've heard of granite countertops, maybe you have granite countertops at your house, or you've seen them at someone's house. But granite is a very popular rock that is used for countertops. And then there's another picture of a rock, just a piece of granite in the shape of a rock. So that is our last word for this week, kiddos. Remember to go ahead and pause and rewind, go back and get anything that you missed. Make sure that you are doing all parts of your word collector, all parts of your Foursquare this week, like every week, to make sure you know those words really, really well. All right, well, thank you for being active learners.